Hey guys, quick question. Do you get paid once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month, 4 times a month, or 5 times a month, depending on how many weeks are in the month? Well, today we are going to be breaking down and we're going to be discussing how to do a paycheck budget for your biweekly paycheck. I am going to be taking my biweekly paycheck budget that I use and I'm going to be showing that to you guys. So if you are just starting or if you have your paycheck budget and you're kind of running into some snags, y'all, stay tuned. All right, hey guys, welcome back. I am so happy to have you here. If you have not already joined the family, guys, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. And I love all your comments. I love when you guys give advice, when you give things that you're going through and put it down in the comments, guys. I really love that. Keep it going, keep it moving. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about biweekly paycheck breakdowns. So the first thing before you decide to do a biweekly paycheck budget breakdown, you need to realize what getting paid biweekly means. When you receive a paycheck every 2 weeks from your employer, which that equals up to 26 weeks in a year, and that is usually direct deposited or they give you a check every Friday, which for my biweekly paycheck, I get paid every Friday. So with this paycheck schedule, you will need to get very creative and just think of just unique things that you need to do to make your paycheck stretch, because you have 2 weeks of bills and expenses that you need to take care of until the next time that you get paid. Most jobs that I have worked, they have been on Fridays, but sometimes when depends on, they would change from every Friday and then they would do it on the 1st and the 15th, and then they would change it back to every Friday. So I had always worked 2 jobs, so I would always get paid on that Friday. So every now and then it would be where I got a paycheck every week, every other week. And then it got to the point where I was getting paid from both jobs the same Friday. So I was wanting it to be every other Friday that I got paid, but it is what it is. First thing you want to do is to make sure to write down all of your bills, and I will be showing you guys exactly how I do my biweekly budget paycheck in my biweekly planner, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. What I mean by writing all of your bills down, it's by using a bill tracker, or you can pretty much use a notebook, any type of piece of paper where you can honestly jot down all of your correct real numbers, and you can see all of the bill expenses that you have coming out for that month. In my budget planner that I have, and I am going to be starting with my last paycheck that I did for my paycheck budget, and I'm going to be using my January. So this is my monthly bill tracker, and as you can see, I have 2 more bills that have to come out, but these are automatic payments that are going to be coming out, and this is one that I like to pay it on that exact date. Now, utilizing this monthly bill tracker, this allows me to change my bills every single month because my bills do not stay the same. It don't even stay the same like every 2 weeks. So that's why I like to have a monthly bill tracker for every single month. Now, as you can see, this is just a list, but I love to use a calendar, and I feel like it's more valuable to use your calendar as your bill list to jot down your bills is, because I feel it's more effectively because the calendar has all of the weeks. The calendar has the days. If you get paid on Friday, you know that your mortgage and your insurance bill is due on that Friday, or it's due before that Friday. So that's why I like to see what my days are looking like for my bills. But some people, they just love to use a monthly bill tracker, and that is okay. You use what works for you. And I just feel like this here, I can see everything all at a glance, and that makes my budget pretty much perfect for me. Now that you have all of your bills down, the next thing you need to do is figure out, when do I get paid? So once you have that down and you know the exact date of when you get paid, you need to go ahead, pull out your pay stub and check to see how much you get paid after all of your deductions. Now, another good thing, this is a good time to check to make sure that you are taking out enough taxes before your paycheck. Think back, did I have to pay taxes last year, or was I good last year, or do I need to change some of my tax forms? You need to think to yourself to see if that is something that you need to do. So what you want to look for is your net pay. What is net pay? Okay, so your net pay, it is your pay that you take home after all of your deductions have been taken away from your gross pay. Before I hop into more of showing you guys my biweekly paycheck, I would love to see in the comments who gets paid once a month, twice a month, or if you get paid biweekly. Let me know in the comments how your pay schedule is set up. So let's go ahead and let's hop back into checking out how my biweekly paycheck went. Let's go ahead and head back to my January section. So as you can see, I have, as I told you before, I have all of my bills written down. My paydays are the 3rd, the 17th, and the 31st. I like to write down my paydays because I like to be able to reference back to this and say, hey, I get paid the 3rd, the 17th, and the 31st, instead of having to say, okay, so this one, this week. So I have everything pretty much written down. I also use this monthly bill tracker to track my spending. So I have no spends, and I do no spend days to track to see what days I am spending money, which days I am not spending money. If there is a bill that is on my no spend day, that does not count as a spent expense because this is already taken out of my monthly budget. Now we're going to go to my monthly bill tracker. So this is just the ledger that I use. This is always pretty much changing, and I can write down my bill description. And what you want to write down is when it's due, and you want to make sure that it is in order. And sometimes I get mine out of a little bit order, but it's still okay. And if you want to, sometimes I also write down my paydays. And this is a good thing to do on this sheet also. So you got the 3rd, 17th, and 31st for that. So when I do my paycheck budgets, I can just use this sheet here to reference back for. So that makes my budget a little bit easier. Now we're going to take a look at my paycheck budget for the 17th. So what I do is I write down all of my income, and this is where I told you to grab your pay stub to check to see how much you are bringing home for your net pay. And I like to use rollover money too, because this is money that is left in my checking account that will be used towards my next budget. So that money here is my $364.73. So that is the money that is being rolled over here. Now, these are the bills that are due with this paycheck for the 17th. And like I said, I like to use all of my pages that are in my book. So when I created this, I made it so that it is like I have pages that are useful and not just extra pages that I'm not going to use. Now, I know that the last paycheck was on the 3rd, so that took care of all of the bills until the 16th. I don't count the 17th because the 17th paycheck are going to take care of all of the bills until the next paycheck, which is on the 31st. So this will be the 17th, and I'll stop the day before, the 30th. So that's what I have here. So that'll take care. So I'm looking at all of the bills from the 17th. So we'll start with the 19th, and that'll take me down to the 29th. So the reason why these aren't filled in because these haven't came out yet. These are automatic payments. And this one here for his after school, I like to do it on that exact day. So as you can see, all of these bills matches up with this. Now, next, what I like to do, I didn't bring this figure down. This figure should be here. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in so I won't forget. All right. So what I do, I use this as like a check ledger, and I take my $2,229.73, subtract my $75. I use the actual column. I have a balance of $2,154.73 left. Take that amount, subtract it from my lows, and that's $2,047.73. Subtract it from after school, and I just keep doing all of that until I have this amount, and this is what I have left to work with my savings, my debt, my cash envelopes, my sinking funds, and my savings challenges. Try not to make it so hard. I try to make it so it's not stressful. So I just kind of do it bare minimum. All right. So next thing, I have my emergency and savings. And then the emergency, this is cashless. So this is HYSA. And normally what I do I use a highlighter. In my HYSA, I always have a hard time saying it. I don't understand why. Sorry about that, y'all. But this is through Ally, and I do have a link in the description box to give you all the information about that, because they are doing a bonus now where you get like, it's like a referral, and that's what I use for my high yield savings account. So I am going to be doing here, it says cashless and then HYSA. So that is for that. So I know they say that you should pay yourself first, but for me, I pay myself through my 401k, and I have my Roth IRA. So some people don't think of that as paying yourself first. Let me know in the comments if you think that is paying yourself first. But I feel like that is part of paying myself first, because that is set up for my retirement. That is set up for my family, because what you do to save for your retirement, it doesn't just affect you, it affects your whole family. And I had to look at it like that before I really got aggressive of adding more to my 401k and then my Roth IRA. So that's what these are. So next I have a debt column. So this is just like the credit cards that I have. And even though I have more credit cards, what I do is, this is extra that's going to it. I try to focus on one, because trying to focus on too many at one time will have you pretty much overwhelmed. So that's what I have for that one. Now, next, what I do, I go over here and I do cash envelopes. So this right here really helps me with my spending, and not to spend too much in like personal items, grocery items, household, gas, and this is a little treat for myself, and eating out and coffee. Okay, so these right here are in my cash envelope wallet, and this is what I do every single paycheck. And I try to use the money that is just in these envelopes. So this right here will give you some boundaries by using a cash envelope system. And it's just basically just using envelopes, and you just put, if you have eat out, you don't have to have fancy eat envelopes. You can just use a mailing envelope and write Aiden on the front, personal, grocery, household. You can do it like that, start off. So you can start off super easy. And then once you work your way up and you have a little bit of extra money to grab some fancy cash envelopes, then you do your thing, you do you, boo-boo, and you get you some envelopes, okay? Next, I have where I set up for my sinking funds. And I'm going to tell you, with my biweekly paycheck, this is not always filled in. Always make sure to fill it in if you can. If you don't have enough for sinking funds, that's okay. Don't do it, because like I said, once you put it in your sinking funds, and if it was not meant to be and you didn't really have that cash to put in that sinking funds, you're going to be right back in your car property tax envelope, your vacation envelope, dipping money out of that to put in there. So even though you do see videos, or you see someone else, like I said, someone else doing cash stuffing for their sinking funds, if you do not have the cash to put in there, skip this paycheck and wait until the next one, or wait till you have some extra money. Can't stress that enough, because I've been down that road. I've done it. And I'm like, girl, I put $100 in my sinking fund. Well, I didn't tell anybody, but I said it to myself. I'm like, girl, you go, girl. And then like 2-3 days later, I'm back up in that jank, and I'm like digging back in my envelope, and what I did was it canceled it out what I did. So that's why you see I don't have a lot of the times that I stuff like hundreds, 200. I'll do 50, 15, 50, and I try to break it up and stretch it where it makes sense. And then here, same thing for my savings challenges. This box isn't always filled up. Sometimes it'll be 0. It depends on what you have left. Just like for my 50-50 envelope, do I want to put more in there? Yes, that is something that I want to put more in, but did I have more to put in it? No. So it's more of, I think, cash envelope stuffing, you have to be more realistic with yourself, because I know sometimes we can get caught up in the cash stuffing part, but the budgeting and figuring out where your money's going, that is like the important part of budgeting. And sometimes you can get lost in it. I mean, I did, because one time I was just stuffing all kind of stuff. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was just stuffing, and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm not taking care of the most important things that I need to take care of. And then that's when you start falling behind. And then that's when things start getting out of whack. And then you're just like, I don't want to do this no more. So that's what that is. So then at the end, what I do is I just do a check just to make sure that my figures are good. And as you can see, at first I had a 53 difference between these two amounts, and that's why I like to go back and I check my math, because I had an error, and that's why that was blank. I had an error here with my adding, and that's why that was a 53 difference. So I went back, checked it, and then it came out even there. So this is what I have left in my buffer to carry me until the next 2 weeks. And then also sometimes there has been times where I haven't had enough money for grocery because I underestimated how much I need, which my groceries and my gas is cashless. So I didn't mention that to you. But I have had where I had to pull out of this until the next 2 paychecks, because 2 weeks bi-weekly, that's a lot. That's some weeks. I mean, even though it's not a lot of weeks, it's a lot of weeks. So that is all of what I have for a paycheck budget. So then when another thing is, which I'm going to be honest, I didn't do really good tracking my spending. I didn't really spend because I was doing a no spend January. So I'm actually not upset, because I think I had 2 days where I went to the Dollar Tree. I had to get like some little wine glasses. They were super cute. I got 2 of them. That was like, what, $2.75. And then we went to, that's because the lights went out and we had to go get something to eat. So we had a gift card, and it was like $20-something that I had for Texas Roadhouse to the rest of the gift card that we had. So for my weekly expense, I'm not really upset about that. And that's all I really was spending, and then plus with my gas and the groceries and then debt snowball. So that you want to make sure that every 2 weeks you want to think of a debt plan if you do have debt. If you don't have debt, I'm proud of you. I mean, hand clap. And then this is just extra sheets, but I haven't done like any extra sinking fund sheets or anything like that. So that is my bi-weekly paycheck breakdown in a nutshell. And hopefully you guys could take some of it and use some of the things that I am implementing. And it doesn't mean that you have to get a fancy budget planner. You can actually use a notebook. You can use a sketchbook, or some people like to use a bullet journal. You just use whatever works for you, because you are the one that's going to have to deal with your money. You're going to be the one that have to deal with if you don't have enough money, and you're going to be the one that is going to be the person that is managing your household. I don't know if that came out right? But thank you guys so much for chilling with me. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have not already hopped over to my Instagram, and my TikTok is called 𝗖𝗢𝗗𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and my website is called www.pinkcloth.co. And guys, like I always say, and until next time, guys, peace.